Test, test. All right. Can you believe we're just about done? These 2 days have flown by, haven't they? One more song. We finally got an encore, Steve. Actually, I'm not done yet. You can't get an encore till I'm done. All right. Hey, by the way, Brett told me to remind you guys, for those of you that can attend, Mickey Mantle's tonight, 6 o'clock. How late did you guys really stay up last night? For those of you that hung out with Brett. Yeah, you guys got together with a story, didn't you? You guys learn anything? Having fun? Dean, is it worth the flight all the way from New Jersey? Good. Appreciate you guys being here. All right, so we're going to wrap up the day with last segment where I am going to give you some absolutely specific instruction on what to do. This segment's entitled Mastering Momentum. Now, before we get into this, and everybody's got a handout, I ask you don't read it just yet. Just pay attention to me for a second. We're going to go through it together. So the first thing I want you to understand is what truly is momentum as it relates to the real estate business, okay? So momentum is defined as a sudden burst of sustained results. So Kyle, we talked about that great month you had where you listed 7 houses, right? And you could look at that month and say, yes, I'm in momentum. Look at this, 7 listings. How many listings do you take the next month? None. Okay, that is not momentum. Okay, sudden burst of what kind of results? Sustained. So what that means is, so Santiago, on an average month, you list how many homes? 4, okay? So momentum for you would be, say, going to 6 or 8 and staying there. Not just, I had a great month, but no, it's just like, and you're leveling out there, okay? So many of us think that we've been in momentum, and I can tell you most of you haven't. Excuse me. See? I have fought this for 2 days. All right, it's winning too. Okay, all right. So many of you may think you've been in momentum. I'm going to tell you, very few of you really have. Because what I'm getting ready to talk to you about is, I always say this, I know, bear with me, but it is one of the most important things I can talk to you about. Since the last thing that I talked to you about, that was the most important then, this is now, okay? Because listen, everybody wants to get their business up to that next level, but very few people understand or are really willing to do what it takes. So let's just read this opening paragraph together. Now, I put this together, by the way, for my team and then shared it with others as well. And so you'll notice there's places to sign because it's designed to have accountability involved. It's a commitment. You're signing off saying, okay, coach, okay, broker, okay, team leader, this is what I'm committed to doing, and you can hold me accountable to it. Oh, hang on. At my age now, I have to have glasses. All right, for this plan to work, you must commit 100% mentally and physically. To do this, it's critical to identify your core motivation, meaning what is the foundation of why accomplishing this goal is important? When you peel back all the layers, why do you want to do it? How will you know when you've discovered your core motivation? You'll know because when you think about it, you'll experience genuine emotion. Just the thought of it will motivate you into action, even when you don't feel like doing it. Understand, you'll be out of balance. What did I say? Be out of balance. So you have to decide, is it worth it? Because you will be out of balance. Over this period, it's best if you don't introduce anything new into your life that is not absolutely necessary, such as new hobbies, relationships. Sorry, no new girlfriends right now, Kyle, all right? Or any other major changes. I suggest not going on any extended vacations because it'll set you back on the timeline. It's not just the 90-day period that will propel you into momentum. What day period? 90-day period that will propel you into momentum, but the 100% commitment and consistency to the plan over 90 days that will propel you there. Your ability to rationalize will be your biggest enemy. Let that one sink in. Do not allow yourself to create or buy into excuses to justify not following your plan. We all perform at a level consistent with our self-image. Through this process, you're going to build your skills, discipline, and self-confidence, and as a result, change your self-image. Continually visualize yourself accomplishing these goals and approach this plan as though success is guaranteed. Good luck on your journey. All right. 90 days doesn't seem like that long until you are really knuckling down and making changes in the way you do things. And then a week is a long time. Okay? So the more accountability you can put in place, the more that you guys can really get, who can say by a show of hands that I am sick and tired of being at the production level I'm at? I am sick and tired of it. Okay, that's a lot of hands. If you mean that, if you are sincere and you are really ready to experience genuine, permanent, sustained growth, listen carefully. It requires hard work. I'm not going to fool you. It's hard work. It's going to be difficult. You're going to be fighting yourself. Those voices inside your head are going to be battling. You're going to have to really, really, really pump in the positive. The more that you guys can collectively get together, like Steve was talking about with the mastermind group, the more you can collectively get together and support yourself, keep each other encouraged, have somebody to talk to when you're having a tough day. Man, all of those things help. Because this plan that we put together will absolutely get you into momentum. So I want to look at these points one by one. First, I commit to starting my prospecting every weekday. And the reality is, if you really want to kick butt, it's how many days a week? Really 7. It really is. But at least every weekday at exactly 8 a.m. or before. Now, I use the word exactly because this doesn't mean 8:01 or 8:02. Well, come on, Gordon, that's pretty close. 8:01 turns into 8:05. 8:05 turns into 8:15. 8:15 turns into 9 o'clock. Hold yourself accountable to it. Some of the people that I've coached over the years, what they'll do is they'll actually set an alarm on their phone for the time to start prospecting. And the rule is, turn off the alarm, boom, make the first call. Nothing stops you. Make the first call. Number 2, I commit to prospecting during peak prospecting times at least 3 out of the 6 times. And I identified it here, Monday through Thursday after 6, Saturday starting at 9 a.m., Sundays after 4 p.m. At least 3 out of those 6 times. Just like I was talking about with Dean yesterday. You're going back after the leads that you haven't been able to reach, your lead follow-up, maybe the expired that didn't answer this morning, the for sale by owner you couldn't get a hold of this morning, call them again in the evening. Just be consistent with that. Dean, how much did we decide was an extra $80,000, something like that? It was some incredible number. I mean, just by doing just a little thing like that. Good for you. I commit to making a minimum of 20 contacts per day. Minimum. Now, for those of you that are this guy over here, you're tracking your numbers. So we don't have to say around 20 because because you've tracked your numbers and you know how many contacts it takes to get an appointment, how many appointments it takes to get a listing. You know all the numbers because you're a professional. I commit to dressing as a professional. And I really, that changed. Years ago, I couldn't imagine myself up here making a presentation without a tie. Not that wearing a tie is bad, it's kind of like more acceptable now to not wear a tie. So it's like, all right, I'll go with the flow. But but still, there's a professional look. And listen, we're not just dressing as a professional for the public to perceive us. The reality is when you dress the part, you feel different. Have you ever noticed how your car runs better after it's been washed? Like your gas mileage goes up when you wash the car? It's kind of the same thing. It's like whenever you look the part, you feel different, you feel better, you carry yourself different, you talk different, you got a different level of confidence about you. Every day you should dress the part. Every day. Number 5, I commit to pre-qualifying every appointment for motivation, ability, and if their expectations are realistic. Qualify every appointment. We're not qualifying not to lose the appointment. We're not this guy over here. We're qualifying to make the best use of my time. How many times have you got to go on unqualified appointments? I'll never forget. I can almost drive to the house. It was over off of roughly Northwest 10th and Meridian. Wasn't even a really nice neighborhood. I took the appointment. Why? Because I was behind on my listing goal for the month. And so I went on an appointment that all the sirens are going off in my head saying, Gordon, this is the wrong appointment. Don't do it. It's not going to turn out good. Well, and then here's that voice. Oh, but there's a chance. You may have misjudged. There's a chance. I mean, they said they'd meet with me. There's a chance. Well, that night there was some function going on with the family, some special dinner or whatever. And I told my wife, I'm going to be late. I got this appointment. I can't be there on time. Okay, all right. So I go out to the house, pull up in front of it. Oof, this one's going to be rough. I walk up to the front door, ring the doorbell, knock on the door. Ring the doorbell, knock on the door. Pick up my phone, call them because nobody comes to the door. Nobody answers the call. Nobody's home. You guys ever watch the cartoons when the guy, his head like turns into a jackass? That's how I felt. Like I just had a big jackass head. Like, Gordon, you knew this. You knew this was going to be the outcome. And you sacrificed the time with your family. Now you're going to come in late. You're setting a bad example for your kids. Your wife's not going to be happy with you. Because what's the first thing she's going to say? Did you get it? Did you get it? Not only did I not get it, they weren't even home. Now, do you think I really said that? No, I didn't say that. But I thought that. But how many times do you have to go out on those kind of appointments before you start to feel like, is this really what I want to do? I'm just not really that excited and motivated to go on the appointment. Maybe I'll just blow it off. How many times have you got to lose before you start to get a little jaded in your thinking? Qualify these appointments properly, guys. Commit to creating a positive, inspirational prospecting environment and sending a picture to your coach. What does that look like? It depends on you. It depends on you. I would certainly recommend having your scripts posted. I would certainly recommend having your goals and affirmations posted. I would certainly, here's the thing. You want to, if this is your domain where you were going to prospect and make money, you want to step in to this prospecting environment and feel good. Think about the lighting that you have. Maybe there's some music playing. You know one of my favorite things to put in your prospecting environment? Ryan, you know this because you've done it. Make a list of what I call your happy clients list. Your happy clients list. So Brian, go back and identify 10 people that were, if every client could be like this, my job would be a dream. If everybody, they appreciated me, they were so easy to work with, When I was working with these people, I loved my job. Make a list and post that list in a prominent spot in your prospecting environment. And whenever that stinking thinking starts to enter your mind, you just take a second and you glance at that list. And as you're going down that list and looking name by name, you're playing the reel back in your mind of that experience you had with them. And you're reminding yourself that you're working to create more of those experiences. That's what you're doing. Because guess what? If that's what your mind's focused on, you're way more likely to find it. So your happy clients list, that should be a must for all of you. I commit to reading or listening to positive educational material at least 30 minutes per day. This can include books, podcasts, etc. Keep pumping positive, good in, good out. Bad in, bad out. Oh gosh, Gordon, I'm so sick of it. It's all the time. Can I listen to something else? Yeah, you can switch from a book to a podcast, or hey, you can even, there's even some good books that are fictional books. But the thing is, you just got to keep the positive coming in, because if you operate on default, if you just go on autopilot, let me just tell you, the world that we're living in right now, guys, is so full of negative, it's not even funny. I can remember kind of getting lax on this and having a conversation with myself. I'm depressed. Why am I so freaking depressed? I mean, it just didn't make sense, because I am not that kind of guy. I am a positive, strong-minded person. That is who I am. And I'm like, I am not the kind of guy that gets depressed. But what I noticed is I took a break. I took a break probably for the matter of a couple weeks. Started back listening to, I think it was talk radio at the time. The Rush Limbaugh and stuff like that. And I got to think, man, I'm depressed. Why? Because I was just kind of sitting back in neutral and letting the world feed me what it wanted to feed me. This world does not want to feed you good stuff. You've got to take charge of it. And I'm not trying to make any political statements. I know we've got mixed views here. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just saying in general. In general, it's feeding you a bunch of negative crap all the time. And if you don't counteract it, if you don't do something to change the way you think, because everything, guys, understand this, everything starts with a thought. Everything starts with a thought. And where do the thoughts come from? It comes from what you're putting in here. So take charge of it. Commit to tracking your numbers every day. A professional knows their numbers. Commit to memorizing your scripts by practicing daily until the scripts become your words. You know, has anybody ever sung karaoke before? I love to sing karaoke, especially when we go on vacations and stuff like that. So who raised their hand? Karaoke. What's your go-to song? Okay, cool. Matt, what's your go-to song? You sing them all poorly? That's all right. I Will Survive. Isn't that a lady song? You have a high voice? Okay, I got it. Mine is Friends in Low Places. I love to sing Garth Brooks. Or if I really want to have some fun, then it's Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond. Yeah. All right, but you memorize your scripts so that the words become your words, because the words are only a small part of the total communication. You've got to know the words. You've also got to know how you learn, because not everybody learns the same way. But the bottom line is, yes, you want your scripts up in front of you, but that's this, the trapeze artist has a net down below. They don't expect to use it. Okay? If they use the net, it's because they missed. Your scripts are the same way. Your scripts are the net, but you need to know them up here. Number 10, I commit to starting every day writing out my goals and affirmations first thing in the morning and journaling every evening, making a note of my wins and areas to improve, like we spoke about earlier. Number 11, I commit to creating and following my lead follow-up system where 0 leads fall through the cracks. Discuss and come to an agreement with your coach on a follow-up system. There's multiple ways to follow up, but you have to have one. If leads are slipping through, you are doing it wrong because 80 to 90% of your appointments are going to come from lead follow-up. So if any system needs to be well organized and finely tuned, it's your lead follow-up system. So if you don't have a good one, the 3 of us are here to help you come up with one. I commit to practicing my listing presentation at least once per day. All sorts of ways you can do that. You got a couple examples of myself and Brianne this week. I commit to organizing my center of influence into the CRM and dividing into A list and B list. I commit to creating a post on social media 3 to 4 times per week, branding myself as a real estate expert. Videos are preferred. Be sure there is a call to action with each post. For example, PM me, personal message me, or call me at and leave your phone number. Make sure you don't miss the call to action. Okay? One of the great quotes by Elon Musk, give me 90 days on social media and I can have the world see me however I want them to see me. You can create your own reality. And it's free. But I don't look good on camera. It doesn't matter. It's not a beauty contest. It's really not. And finally, I commit to previewing 15 to 20 homes per week. This can be done in person or virtually by computer. Most should be in person. If you want to make sales at a higher price point, be sure you preview homes at a higher price point to become familiar with that market. Can I be any more specific than that? Now, I'm telling you, that's a hard plan. Well, do I have to do all 15 steps, Gordon? Honestly, there's some that you could probably drop and you'd still do okay, but is okay your goal? If you'll do everything on here and you'll do it consistently and hold yourself accountable to it, actually what I made for my team was a checklist where you had it printed off for every day and you just put a check mark every day by everything that you accomplished. To the point it starts to become, so think about it this way. If you weren't independent contractors, if you were my employees, and I hired you and I said, I'm going to pay you $1 million a year, and this is your job description. And if you follow it, you're going to get paid $1 million a year, and if you don't, you're going to get fired because there's a line wrapped around the building waiting to take your job. How many would be pissing and moaning about this job description? You just go out and what? You just do it. You figure out a way to get it done. The next thing you know, it's easy because this is just the way that I operate now. This is just the way that I work. This is the way I do my job and I don't have to worry about it anymore. And you do that for 90 days and next thing you know, you look up and say, holy cow, my business looks a whole lot better. So we printed this off for you to take home with you. Read it through, talk to your coach about it, decide if this is something you want to commit to. If it is, there's a spot for you to sign off on it, send it to your coach. And what you're saying is, Coach, I want you to hold me accountable to this plan. All right, any questions at all about any of these points or momentum in general? By paying attention to my team, it kind of seemed to be the sweet spot. Between, if they hit 20 contacts, it seems like they start to get results. Below that, they're not getting as many results. Above that, I can't get them to do consistently. So it was like, what was the threshold? It kind of came from the same technique I've used for raising 7 kids. Like, how strict can I be? Well, with Brett.
Good luck.
Yeah. Hey, let me tell you, Brett and Brianne, polar opposites. Polar opposites. I When Brienne got her license on her 18th birthday, here's what a lot of you don't know. I only coached her for a year. I coached her for her first year. Now, she didn't take a listing. Speaking of momentum, she didn't take a listing until 90 days into the process. Hello, ding, 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 ding. Okay, I coached her for that first year. Then I referred her to one of my fellow Mike Ferry coaches. I said, it's time to kick you out of the nest. Daddy's here for you. Call me if you need me. But it's time for you to go out and start to experience the world, grow up like I did, get exposed to different people, different ideas. And that's what she did. And to this day, a lot of you think, well, her dad's a coach and runs a team, so he's just there for her all the time. Yes, I am there for her, but she does her own thing. She's completely independent. She knows that she can pick up the phone and call dad, but she is not one of those, daddy, 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 daddy. I'm good to hear from her once or twice a month on business. Now, we spend a lot of personal time together, but we don't talk business. Rarely do we talk business. But she knows if she has a question, if she needs help, pick up the phone and call dad. But otherwise, she's not that way. She's an independent woman. She's going to be 40 years old here in a couple of years. It's like, frick, her mother's getting old. So I'd like to ask Steve and Sydney to join me up front. And thank you. Same to you. Hey, we're here for you. Appreciate you guys joining us, coming all the way to, I was going to say sunny Oklahoma, but that doesn't work, does it? Rainy Oklahoma. Normally, this is like one of the most beautiful places, looking out over this incredible golf course, sunshine this time of year. Sorry about the rain, but we appreciate you guys making the trip. We tried to fill you full of ideas and inspiration, community. I appreciate you, Brett. Thank you again. 6 o'clock tonight. I already said it before you got here. I did. He's tapping his watch. Don't forget, Dad. Don't forget. 6 o'clock tonight at Mickey Mantle's.